Hey there, this is Natalie, and this is a short video about a ReZero theory I have that I think would be pretty cool to see if it turns out to be true. This isn't a theory backed up by mountains of deep lore, but more one that I think is a possibility within the story, and which would actually fit quite nicely. So, what's the theory? Well, it is that Julius's contracted spirits will later in the story evolve into great spirits or spirits with a physical humanoid presence, which, given it has been established that they're all female, would potentially give Julius a spirit harem of 6 different spirit girls themed around the magical elements in ReZero's world. Bonus theory, if they come to present themselves as little girls, Julius would, ironically, genuinely be the Lollymancer. If you're anime only and don't know about any Lollymancers, just let that bit sail over your head for now. I'm going to give most of this theory without any spoilers, just referring to season 1 and some general lore about spirits. Then I'll just add a little spoiler section at the end that will refer to something from near the end of Arc 6. So I'll let you know when to nope out of the video if you want to avoid that part. The theory itself should make sense without that bit. It's just something that I think adds a lot more weight to the possibility of this happening. So, Julius has the divine protection of gathering spirits, which makes him even better at drawing spirits to him and communicating with them than a normal spirits arts user, like say Emilia. He goes by the title of the Spirit Knight, and the spirits he has contracted to him, as we saw in season 1, are 6 of what are called quasi spirits, one of each of the types of magic in ReZero's world: earth, water, air, the Fire Nation, and both yin and yang. These quasi spirits are kind of the next stage up in a spirit's development from the lesser spirits we see Emilia talk to in season 1. Unlike Emilia's lesser spirits, we're told a fair amount about Julius's spirits as individuals, despite them just appearing as small lights. They're all female, and they have names: Ia, Kua, Arrow, Ik, In, and Ness. Ia is the red fire spirit that we see most in the anime, as she's the one Julius lends to Subaru, who helps him finish off Peteleguse. Now, while we know that great spirits like Beatrice essentially appear and interact with the world in a corporeal way, just like people, and we know from Emilia that spending time talking to the lesser spirits is important in helping them grow, we don't know that much else about what differences there are in between a spirit and a great spirit, or whether all lesser spirits can become quasi-spirits, and then spirits, and so on. We don't actually know of any great spirits that came to be by that kind of life cycle in the main story at all, given the great spirits we know, like Beatrice and Puck, seem to have been created as great spirits to begin with, this being why they would be called artificial spirits. However, in Bond of Ice, we see a non-artificial great spirit in the form of Meliquera, and he apparently was originally a fire elemental minute spirit born from a bonfire. He was strengthened by the prayers of people around him for peace, and over hundreds of years developed into the formidable great spirit of fire that Puck defeats in the ReZero prequel. So, if with the right environment, little elemental spirits can evolve into really powerful great spirits, then the spirits who accompany Julius, one of the people best suited in the world to working with spirits, and who, owing to him being in the story, is probably going to be thrust into all manner of important situations, could possibly have this happen to them. The language used to refer to these spirits definitely hints that they're set to evolve into something magnificent, with Julius referring to them as buds that he's waiting to see bloom. He also refers to them as maidens, which definitely feeds into the idea that what they might bloom into is lollies. At the start of the story, Julius has been with his spirits for over a decade, and the bond between them is very strong, so it's interesting to think about what kind of relationship there might be should these little balls of light begin to manifest as elemental-themed women. And I think it could add a really cool dimension to future battles involving Julius if he's there calling in his elemental girls, like Lucy from Fairy Tale with her zodiac spirits. I just like this idea a lot. So that's the end of the spoiler-free part of this theory video. Let me know what you think about the idea of Julius getting a spirit harem in the comments if you haven't read all of Arc 6 and are stopping the video now to avoid spoilers, and I hope to see you again very soon. But if you have read Arc 6, then you will know that during Julius's fight with Reed, he breaks his contract with his spirits, who are still around but have forgotten him due to him having his name eaten in Arc 5, and he then forms a new contract. This means that they can contract with him as he is now, as a new person rather than the one they've forgotten, and fight alongside him again. After the fight, which Julius wins, he says that his buds have now bloomed into spirits. We don't get a description of them, so we don't know if this means they already get more distinctive physical forms, or if they're just bigger balls of light now. And I can't think of a distinct character yet who has been explicitly defined as a spirit rather than a great spirit, so I can't think of a comparison we can make that would tell us what to expect these spirits to be like. But it does show that Julius's spirits can evolve, and may have even already reached the stage of appearing as beautiful maidens. Since I've only read the chapter this happens in with Google Translate, it's also hard to tell if I'm missing a lot of the details that may tell us more about this matter. But I think the way that the chapter seems to talk about the contract and the relationship between Julius and his spirits is very human. They're definitely not talked about in a way one might talk about mascot type characters or pets, but about important and well-respected people in Julius's life. There really isn't much going on by way of ships for Julius either, and no, the abundance of Julius X Subaru stuff out there doesn't count. Where his closest relationship, which is with Anna, doesn't seem to be romantic in nature. He could therefore be happiest with his posse of spirit girls, thereby ironically being the guy with the harem, the lolly harem even, rather than Subaru. And I think this is the kind of subversion of expectations Tappei would enjoy and would consider including in ReZero. So, what do you all think? Let me know in the comments, and as always, please subscribe for more ReZero content, as well as my new upcoming Attack on Titan coverage. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.